Hi, curious person. Today we will see what humanism is all about and how it is taught in the foreign language classroom. Humanism in education has attracted a lot of attention since the 1970s. It is a general term in psychology that is very much concerned with the self, gives priority to students' affective factors. Therefore, the evolution and development of humanistic psychology was associated with Abraham Maslow and Carl Rogers. Since then, humanism is related to beliefs about freedom and autonomy and the notions that humans can make decisions for themselves, encouraging people to move towards self realization in which each person defines reality for himself. On the other hand, humanistic education emphasizes self discovery, introspection, self esteem, and contact with the strengths and positive qualities of others and ourselves. It was then that in 1990, Stevik states that the word humanism has been used with different meanings in the field of foreign language learning. These have five overlapping emphases. Those emphases are as follows: feelings. Humanism rejects whatever causes people to feel bad. Social relations. Humanism encourages friendship and rejects anything that could reduce it. Responsibility. Humanism accepts the need for public scrutiny, correctness, and disapproves of anyone who denies the importance of such matters. Intellect. Humanism rejects whatever interferes with a free use of mind. Self-actualization. Humanism believes that the search for realizing one's uniqueness leads liberation. Contributions of humanism to foreign language teaching. Humanistic prioritize the development of human values, the development of self-awareness and understanding of others, human feelings and emotions, and the active participation of students in the learning process. Language teaching methods such as the silent way, Suggestopedia, and community language learning are based on the principles of humanism. It is also important to know that the transition from learning to teaching is something that is heavily emphasized in language teaching today. What is the teacher expected to do? The teacher is expected to understand that the learner needs an understanding of himself and the freedom to communicate the self to others. His responsibility is to provide the appropriate context for learning, not to give knowledge. Teacher thinks of himself as a facilitator responsible for facilitator learning. Boscourt and Nosden 2010 carried out a study regarding the relationship between an empathetic classroom environment and the students' success. The results indicated that it was the empathetic behavior of the teachers rather than their academic competencies which had influenced self-report students' success. As Underhill 1989 states, the facilitator has a lot to do with setting the mood or atmosphere which supports self-directed learning.
There must be a balance between learners' freedom and constraints on them. Humanism requires the facilitator to have the skill for finding the appropriate balance for each individual between self-directed autonomous power and other-directed authoritative power. Although individualization in language learning is stressed to a large extent, it does not mean that they must be left to do whatever they want. Learning is based on learners' needs, not others' expectations. The learners are weaned away from the trap of working to please the teacher, which may be quite deeply ingrained, and towards working to please themselves. Because, as Carmon maintains, teachers should remember that learners are people and therefore have different personalities, feelings, and interests. Reflective teaching and learning is emphasized. Arnold maintains that humanistic language teaching brings a new view of the language teacher, which includes recognition of the importance of his or her personal development. It means that these skills will be much more effective if teachers are also concerned with their own emotional IQ. Assessment must highlight the learner's strengths. Language teachers are expected to view and apply assessment of learners' performance in a positive way by emphasizing their strength in using English by means of interaction. Errors are considered as indicators of learners' progress. In classrooms run according to humanistic values, errors are valued possibilities. The teacher asks questions not to elicit a right answer, but to get feedback about the learner's process and to help them learn about their own process. Problems in practice. Underhill mentions two areas to difficulty that we may face in trying to put humanistic values into practice in the classroom. The first refers to the difficulty of managing change in ourselves, especially at the level of our values and attitudes, and how many will manifest them in our behavior in class. We are trapped in patterns of teaching, and these patterns may be deeply embedded in our training and in our experience with our own teachers and past authority figures. A second area of difficulty, the author believes, arises from the various external pressures that work against our desires to try different things. Students may find it disturbing when they are asked to take more responsibility for their learning, and teachers may lack the knowledge, experience, confidence, and ability to facilitate this change. And teachers may also lack the support and understanding of those involved in the education environment. Training as teams in the school organization may also mitigate this. Created using Powtoon.